Hey, shalom. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. The computer bombed at the last minute. Windows just decided it didn't like what was going on. Shalom, Brenda, Thea, Jeff, Julie, Gary, Pei, Annie, Jeannie, Pereira, Michael, Vicky, Kenneth. So glad you guys are all here. So let's go and start. Tonight we're going to be going through Hebrew Exodus chapter 26, verses 7 through 11. 7:11. And I've selected a psalm which is relevant for what's happening in Israel. So it's one of the songs that's traditionally prayed in wartime. So we will be praying this for the army of Israel, that Adonai will keep all of our troops safe. Shalom, sos binario. Shalom. All right. So starting Psalm 20. So since tonight is Exodus, I probably won't break down the psalm too much. Otherwise, it'll cut into our Exodus time. But we'll just pray it and maybe say what it means. Lamnatzech mizmor leDavid. For conductor, a psalm of David. Ya'annecha Adonai b'yom tzara. Adonai will answer you in the day of trouble. Yisagevcha Shem Elohei Yaakov. The reputation, the fame, or the name of the God of Jacob will be your high shelter, like in the cliff on the side of a rock. Yishlach Ezrecha Mikodesh Mitzion Yisa'adeka. He will send help to you. It's probably a date of Cha there. Mikodesh, from the sanctuary. Umitzion, and from Zion. Yisa'adeka. He will sustain you. He'll support you. Yizkol kol minchotecha ve'olatecha yedasheneh Selah. May he remember all of your gifts, or your grain offerings, and your whole burnt offering. May he count it as fatty, Selah. Yiten lecha chilvavecha, v'chol atzatecha yimalei. May he give to you according to your heart, and may all of your counsel be filled. It's actually in all of your counsel, yimale, may it be filled, yimale. Niranena b'shuatecha u'v'shem Eloheinu nidgol. Let us make this victory sound like this. B'shuatecha, by means of your Yeshua, your victory. Uv'shem Eloheinu, and by means of the name of our God, or the reputation, the power of our God, nidgol, let the banner fly high, let the banner be raised. Degel is like a banner. This is a reverse form verb from that. Yimalei Adonai kol mishalotecha. May Adonai fill all of your requests. It's like the questionings. It makes you think of the questionings of your heart. Ata yadati ki hoshia Adonai meshicho. Now I know that Adonai rescues or saves Hoshia meshicho, his anointed. Ya'anehu mishmei kodsho. He answers him, meaning answering to prayer, from his holy heavens, literally the heavens of his holiness. Bigvurot yesha yamino. In his loftiness, we're borrowing the suffix from here, yesha yamino, victory, or yesha, salvation is in his right hand. Ele varechev, ve'ele vasusim, va'anachnu b'shem Adonai Eloheinu naskir. These ones by the chariot, and these ones by horses, but we by the name, by the power of Yod-He, Waw-He, Eloheinu, our God, naskir, we cause to be remembered, meaning the victory in the battle. Heima kara'u v'nafalu v'anachnu kamu v'nit'odad. Those ones, they bend and fall, but we ourselves stand, and we help each other up. Adonai Hoshia Hamelech Ya'anenu V'yom Korenu. Adonai, save the king. He answers him in the day we call, on the day when we call, like we cry out. So yes, wonderful. Ken Yiratzon. Okay, I think some more people came in while we were doing our opening psalm prayer. That was Psalm 20, dedicated to protection for the army of Israel. Shalom Rayaveth, Shalom Chona, Shalom Tet. All right. Great, great, great. Our numbers are filling out. I just love the Psalms. I don't want to leave them even. So, something else. Okay, so we are in Exodus chapter 26, verse 7. And kind of exciting for those of you who do the ancient triennial cycles with us. This Shabbat we will be starting Bamidbar, Numbers. 26, 7, okay, let's see, right? Just a moment, I need to prop it up a little bit. Okay. I want to thank everyone who is supporting the work we do here. If you haven't supported us yet and you'd like to sign up to be a monthly donor, one way you can do that is on Patreon. The other way is we can also make a custom sign up for you on PayPal if you prefer to support over there for monthly donations. That's greatly appreciated. And if you're in the Philippines, it's easy. You can just send Payamaya to Hebrew. We'll get that. All right. Hebrew Exodus chapter 26, verse 7. Thanks for the good turnout, guys. I really appreciate that. Please remember to click like, yeah? Alrighty. Verse Sheva. There we go. 7. If you remember, we were talking about the Mishkan, the construction of the Mishkan, and we finished last time with really a neat phrase where it said, V'haya hamishkan echad. So the Mishkan became united, echad. Right, all the pieces came together to be echad. Very nice. All right. Verse 7. Veasiyta lylaot izihim leochel al hamishkan. Veasiyta. So this is that verb, asa, ayin, sin, hey, which means to do or to make. And any of the verbs that end in a hey, they have this special pattern like we're seeing here. Don't get confused. This is not a hifil. It looks like it might be a hifil because you have a yod. Like hifil is a causative form of the verb, right? We have the 3 root letters. If we put a yod before the last one, that tells us it's the causative meaning of that, right? So, for example, shavar is break, but hishbil is to cause to break, right? Like that. So in this case, it's not causative. It's just the normal form of the verb. These verbs that have a hey as the 3rd letter, asa, they follow this pattern. So asita, panita, raita, etc. So asita is you did or you made. The vav changes it to make it ve asita, and you shall make, you will make. Yeah, the earthquake. Yeah, it woke me up. Yeah. Oh, that was the other one. Today there was an aftershock or maybe another earthquake. It was very strong, right? The whole house was shaking here. It was interesting. Not as bad as California, though. At least where we live. I know probably down south people might have had a harder time. Oh, it was in Manila. Okay, Ted said, okay. That's why it was so strong. We were just on the outskirts of Manila. Oh, Shabbat was 6.9, Shona says. Wow. All right. Baruch Hashem. Seems everybody's okay. Lester, if you're here, let me know. Or any of you down in Mindanao, we'd like to know that you're okay. So you shall make yeriot. A yeria is a fabric segment. Some translate that already as curtain, but it's really like a segment of a curtain. Yeriot, ot is plural. So veasiyta yeriot. So you shall make curtain segments of ezim. Ezim. Ezim means from goats, from hairy he-goats. So this is going to be a leather here. Le for ohel, for ohel, for a tent, to serve as a tent, to be a tent. Al is upon. Hamishkan. Ha is the Mishkan, the Mishkan. And I don't like to say tabernacle. I prefer to just say the Mishkan, even when we're talking about it in English, because the Mishkan, it reminds you of Shekhinah, right? God's presence. The Shekhinah Hashem is going to be there. Okay? All right. Continuing, the second part of verse Sheva. Ashte aseret yeriot taaseh otam. Ashte esrei. I think I said aseret accidentally because I was trying to look up like pretend I'm looking at the words up above me floating. And then my eyes combine the ta from over here, so sorry. You could see that form. You'd see ashte aseret, but not here. Ashte esrei, this is 11. This is kind of another way to say 11, right? You could say achat asar also. So 11, yeriot, curtain strips, taaseh. So here we have the same verb that we started the verse with. But when we started the verse, it was in the perfect, asita, you made. And then the vav changed it to make it imperfect, so it's kind of like a future, right? Here we have the imperfect form. So instead of the tav at the end, the ta, which reminds us of ata, you, here we have the tav at the beginning, which does the same thing, reminds you of ata, you. So asita is you did, taaseh is you will do, or you will make, okay? So we started with the perfect, asita, the vav made it imperfect, veasiyta, so you shall make, yeriot ezim leohel hamishkan, ashte asrei yeriot, taaseh, ata, you shall aseh, you shall make, otam. So this is the definite direct object marker, et, and then we put a suffix on the end, mem, that's the suffix for them. So otam, that's them. Haim is them, otam is them if it's the subject, the object. Okay? Verse chait. I keep having to move my controls around. Stuff is blocking where the chat is. Orech hariyaha haachat. Orech. We've seen this before, like the Shulchan Aruch, the order of the table of ordering, rather, the ordered table that tells us all the mitzvot. Or we have the Orech Apayim, long-nosed, which means patient, right? Your nose the nostrils don't flare so easily. And we've had Orech Yamim, right? Veshafti bevet Adonai the Orech Yamim, it says in Psalm 23. But I will dwell in the house of Adonai for Orech Yamim, for lengthy days. Right? And here we have again Orech. So this means length. So those are all from the same root. Orech, and you can also say ta'arich, is you put in order, and arach is to arrange. And we have an arucha, which is an order of troops, like they're in a line. I think there's another word for it in English, but like they're marching side by side. That's an arucha. Arucha, usually by chamesh, by five, and you have chamishim, it could be in the order of arucha, right? So it's like the arrangement of the troops, but like a row of troops. There's a better word for it, but... Brenda asked if I found an acceptable solution to mark the text. No, I just decided not to do it tonight. I didn't want the hassle of stuff not working, and it's like, yeah, good question. Nice. I know what you meant there, Biblia. Yeah, ma, good. Biblia writes, hello, how are you? In Hebrew, very nice. Shalom, ma shlomcha. Literally, how is your peace is what it means. Yeah, that's how you say, how are you? Nice. Shlomi tov. Uma shlomcha. And how are you? Orech hari'ah. The length of a curtain strip, haachat, the one. So achat is just the feminine of echad. All right. Trying to move. It's not working. There we go. Sheloshim ba'ama. Okay, so sorry. Orech hari'aha haachat. Sheloshim ba'amaha. Ve'ochav arba'a ba'amaha. Hari'ah ha'echat. Sheloshim. So if you know your numbers up until 9, then you also know your tens, right? So for the most part. So for example, shalosh is 3, but sheloshim, when you put the im on the end, it's 30. Ba, by means of the amma. This is an amma, the elbow to the forearm. The forearm is the amma. Ve'rochav, and rochav, do you guys remember in the psalm the other day? The psalmist was talking about being in the netherworld. I think this was our opening prayer. Oh yeah, we used a different psalm for the opening prayer on Psalms night, and then we did the other psalm. And the psalmist was happy to be rescued, to be drawn up from the merchav, from the broad domain, right? The broad domain. So that's the same root here. Rochav is width. 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 I'm not sure if it sounds right. Arba, 4. Ba, ama. Beit is by means of. A is the. Ama, the forearm length, the cubit. Ha, riach, the curtain strip. Ha, echat, the one. Right? So it's telling you each one is supposed to be this way. Midah. So midah is measurement. Okay, now we have to move. We're up on the next page now. Bear with me for a second. There we go. Midah achat. So I'm just going to translate the midah. It's measurement. I don't want to go back to that page again. Achat, 1. Hey, shalom yakar. Yakar. Le'ashtei asrei yeriot. 4, 11 yeriot, curtain strips. Okay. I know it doesn't feel so deep spiritually tonight when we're going through these things, but it's still good practice, and you can still learn some stuff. Sorry, that seems wobbling a bit. I'm not sure why that's wobbling. The table's not really shaking. Shalom, servant of Hashem. Good to have you here. Oh, no, Ted's asking about the one. No, the ashtei, it's a weird form for 11. Yeah, so look, we have it here too. Ashtei esrei. Yeah, that's a rarer form for 11. Okay. Verse tet. That's 9. Yeah, it is really shaking, isn't it? I'm sitting so still. I think it's my desk. My desk just wobbles so easily. All right, I'll try to be very still. vechibarta et chamesh hari'ot levad ve'shesh hariot levad vechibarta. So here the root is chaver, like a friend. Chaver. Shalom, chaver. I think that was Bill Clinton's when Shimon Peres died. Shalom, shalom, chaver. Shalom, chaver. Okay, good. Thanks, Brenda. So this is the verb chiber. It's a Piel. There's a strong dagesh in the bait, in case you probably don't hear that so well if you're just listening to the podcast. So vechibarta is you joined, right? Friends are like joined, right? Vechibarta means and you shall join at, we don't translate, chamehesh, 5, hariot of the curtain strips, levad. So levad is like alone. Ve'et shesh hariot levad, and 6 curtain strips alone. Right? So like the 5 is separate from the 6 is what it's saying, right? And a nice thing to say in wartime, which is what all of Israel was saying in the 6-day war, this word here that's up above me on the top left, they were saying, Lo levadi, I am not alone. Right? It's very nice, right? I've been really impressed this time, by the way. I know it's terrible what happened on October 7th, but I've been so impressed. So many of our troops are praying. They're putting on tefillin. You see Torah services. You see, like, I've seen so many videos, like troops pushing together bulldozers to make a makeshift synagogue and praying in there. It's just, and it's got to be impacting the seculars as well, if you think about it. So, even like, I saw a nice video yesterday. I should have shared it here, where they had a whole bunch of soldiers together, maybe 100 or so, and they had a Kohen recited the Birkat HaKohanim over them, the priestly blessing, right? So nice. And I mean, that might save some lives, right? And they were singing a psalm together, or saying the psalm, and everybody was repeating the main refrain, Anna Hoshiana, like, save now, please, which can also be interpreted, give victory. And it's just, you got to think what's happening to the seculars right now, right? Those who don't really think about Hashem too much, looking around and seeing the guys that are maybe kind of in the middle, actually getting excited, saying the psalms, receiving this blessing, thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe there's something to this God of Israel. Maybe there really... And so I have to think that we're told that what the enemy intends for evil, the Lord can use for good, right? And so I have to think about how many souls will actually be saved now by returning to the God of Israel. How many of our soldiers will be saved much longer than just in the short term, right? We'll start them on this path of chasing God and investigating God. So anyway, just something that came to mind I thought was kind of nice. So it sure seems more this time than any of the past conflicts. At least there's a lot more of it coming out. All right. Yes, what Brenda says there. Please listen to Edmund. Brenda. Thank you. Ted posted the Orech Yamim, if you want to see the other use of Orech, lengthy days, also in Psalm 91:16. Very nice, in addition to Psalm 23. Very nice. Oh, she's writing to teacher Ani. I saw Ani, and I thought, Ani, I. One of our shul's teachers is here now. So all right. Okay. Here we go. So that was the etnachta. So that's the semicolon. You can think of it like that. That kind of ends a clause. And we say, V'chafaltaha et hari'aha hashishiyt el mul pnei ha'ohel v'chafalta. So, chafalta, this is interesting. So, the verb here, chafalta, chafal is the verb, which can mean to fold over, or to overlap. And we actually have a very famous place that's named after this, well, from this verbal root. It's the cave that Avraham Avinu purchased for the body of Sarah, Ishto, his wife. And the cave is called Hamachpelah. So it's interpreted to think, the interpreters think that maybe there were two entrances to the cave, right? Like it's folded over in on itself because of the name, and that was the name of it. It was that's the name of it, hamachpelah. So that's from the same verbal root that the yod is pointing at, up there. I feel like a weatherman sometimes. Over here, we've got sunny skies and earthquake down there. Stephen says, I saw a video that Koren Publishers is printing a special compact paperback sheet free to soldiers as they receive many requests from soldiers to keep up with the Parsha. That's great. That we're using Koren Publisher Tanakh here. That's great. Good for them. They're also the provider of Tanakhs to public schools in Israel. For we have Bible classes now. Isn't that great? In the public schools for kids. And Koren's the one that's been doing that for a long time. So wonderful. Good for them. Good for them. That's excellent to hear. Thanks for sharing that, Stephen. Love it. Okay, so you shall overlap the chafalta, right? Chafalta is the ta is you overlapped or folded over. Ve changes the aspect, the chafalta, so you shall overlap et, we don't translate, hari'ah, the curtain segment, hashishiyt, okay, so the sixth. So it mean, remember we separated them, one with 5 levad and one with 6 levad, like alone. Okay, so these are actually called machberets, right? It's a series of curtains, but for some reason the text refers to it this way. But this would be another good place if you're one of those people that likes to dig deep and go to the sod level or the drash level of the Torah. I suspect there's something here to uncover, because the text could have just said, hamachberet haketona, the shorter series, right? Pardon me, the longer series here, hagedolah, right? Hamachberet hagedolah. That would have been the longer series of curtains. But instead, for some reason, it says hari'ah hashishiyt, the curtain strap, the sixth, meaning the one with 6. So it's a little bit odd, and the Torah has been using this hamachberet before. So there might be something deep here to uncover for those of you who really like to search deep. Maybe something in gematria or something like that. To me, that's like a hint. X marks the spot. There's something there, probably. Or maybe a gezerah shava somewhere else or something. El, unto, mul, in front of, panei. Okay, this is a Phoenicianism. Oftentimes you don't really need mul. Panei already tells us in front, right? So mul is in front. Panei is in front of. Ha-ohel, the tent. Okay. Nice. By the way, if any of you want to get the Tanakh that I'm using, you can get that from the Koren Publishers. Go to korenpub.co.il, IL for Israel. I think .com resolves there too. This is the presentation Tanakh. It's about $50 or $60. But maybe buy Siddur, like a prayer book or something. Or they have lots of neat books there, or a pocket Tehillim or something. And if you're living in the United States, if you purchase, I think it's $70 worth of stuff, it's free shipping. So we can't really buy from there directly here in the Philippines, because shipping out here costs more than the books to ship it from Israel. At least through Koren Publisher, the shippers they use. But in the past, when we would buy from Koren Pub, like a bunch of my students would chip in and we'd get a shipment, what we had to do is we'd ship it to America first. For free, and then we had to ship by boat over here, and then like 3 months later, 4 months later, hey, we got our books. So that saved a lot. Ted says, Rob, in reference to the curtains, I remember the song of Moshe, how it is recorded. Okay, the Moshe, that one. Hey, Shalom Betty, no worries, you can go back through and check it out later. Nice turnout right now, Baruch Hashem. Let me see here. Come on, let's hit 40. Tell your friends, we need 4 more people to come in. Come on, I want to hit 40 tonight. All right, what was that? That was verse 9, okay. Verse Yod, that's 10. Glad you're here, Betty. You made it. It counts. Veasiyta hamishim lylaot ahal sefahat hariah haachat hakitzona bachovaret. There it is. There's our. Okay, it feels like it's not quite in focus on the right. Let me. There we go. Hit the autofocus button. Oh, you're saying, like, what does it look like spatially, the Song of Moses in the Torah? Yeah, there's a lot of white space in there. Yeah, in an actual Torah scroll. It doesn't always end up that way in the Tanakh, but yeah, a lot of white. So you're saying it looks like curtains or something? I'm not sure. I haven't counted if it makes up the 11 curtain strips or something like that. Interesting. It's a nice point. I'd like to see. All right. Veasiyta. So again, so you shall make hamishim, 50, right? Hamish is 5, and the im makes it like adding a 0 on the end. So like shesh is 6, shishim 60, sheva 7, shivaim 70, shmone 8, shmoneim 80, tesha 9, tishaim 90. See, so it's very predictable. And 2 parallel columns. Okay. I don't remember. For some reason, I thought it was in different broken sections, with the middle having white space. So, but maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while. We don't have a Torah scroll here. Oh. Okay, so you shall make 50 lylaot. A lula, not a lulav. A lula is like a loop. A loop. So 50 loops. Al. Upon sefat hariah haachat. Okay, sefat. This is a construct from sefa. Sefa means lip. Sefa, lip, and this is svetayim, lips in the dual, right? So sefa is a single lip. It can also mean the beach, like the lip of the sea. Ruach gave a spark, yeah. So sefat is lip of hariah, the curtain strip. Haachat, the one. Hakitzona bachovaret. Okay. Of the extremity. This is related to Kate's. Bachovaret. So this word is actually choveret. And this means a series of curtains, right? It's from that root, chiber, to connect, right? So they're connected. And the bait means at, that's where it's going to happen. At, the Choveret became chovaret, and the spelling is just changed because this is how the Masoretes had it memorized, like when they were rapping it or singing it, right? So they'd hit that word harder. Choveret became chovaret. So this was the hardest word, the hardest hit word in the whole, right? So it would go like veasiyta 50 lylaot al sefat hariah haachat hakitzona bachovaret. So you get like ugh. And then it's going to pull you through to the end of the verse. Although this one doesn't lengthen at all. It's already a very long vowel, the full chirik, the chirik and yod, so it doesn't go longer. Okay? So that's why here we have choveret and here we have chovaret. Okay? It's just, you can see the tradition of memorization trapped, like frozen in the text. Isn't that neat? All right. V'chamishim and 50 lylaot, loops, al, upon, sefat, the lip of, hayariah hachoveret hashenit. The curtain strip series of the series hashenit, the second one. Okay. This is the word I was saying was strangely replaced up above by hashishiyt, the one with 6, right? So there might be something hidden there, some hidden gem. All right, let's see. We're going to 11 tonight, right? Okay, one more verse. Any comments or questions? Yeah, sorry I'm not writing on it tonight. I have not resolved the issue I was having with that. Hold on. I'm trying to make my camera smaller. Why is it not going smaller? What's happening? Ooh. Well, that's not good. My My freeware broadcasting software is frozen. It's not, maybe if I click on it, it'll let me. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Just the hotkeys aren't working. Interesting. Ted says, what might be the significance of the 50 loops, Rob? Put me on the spot. I've got no idea why 50. I think Rashi says. Oh, is it Rashi or the Rambam? I think Rashi says the 50 are to make sure. This isn't going to answer what you want, right? Oh, we got 41 viewers. Yes, thank you, Brenda. I saw it for a second. Hit 41. Baruch Hashem. Hallelujah. Yes, yes. Look at that. Very encouraging. So one of the commentators, I think it's Rashi, says the reason for the 50 is to make it so that there was a seamless join where they were connected, right? Where the curtains would come together. So I know that's not like a special significance in the number 50 that you're probably hoping for, but Vicky on her screen, she sees 1,000 likes. Can you hear Atzon? Maybe as well. I think she's getting prophetic YouTube things. Also, I think Maeve over in the UK had 16K likes the other day. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. We have a Tetra minion, Gary says. Yofi. And if any of you have more than one person there, let me know. I want to know. Woo! If we hit 42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Okay, good. Tet likes the answer. Why the 50? You're probably hoping for something deep, like, well, that gematria is equal to something else over here. And I just don't know it. I'm just not that deep. Not so deep. All right. 11. veasiyta qarsey nechoshet 50 veheveta et hakerasihim lylaot vechibarta et haohel vehaya echad. Veasiyta, we've had that a few times tonight. So you shall make qarsey nechoshet 50. This word is keres in the singular. Keres. It's two segols. Keres. And it means like clasps or hooks. The reason that it's pointed this way, so whenever we have a word that is this is called a segholate, if you want to Google that later. Segholate. Segholate. GH for the G, right? And these are nouns that most of them have a pattern, right? Like melech, sefer, right? Keres, in this case, keres. So the pattern it follows, if you want to make it plural, melech, for example, king, and we want to say kings, you say melachim. It's not melechim, it's melachim. And then if you want to say kings of, we say malchei, right? Like malchei Yisrael, the kings of Israel. So the same with keres, where the yod is pointing up over there. Keres, hook or clasp. Keres, kerasim, not keresim, kerasim. And then we drop the mem to make it of, hooks of, or clasps of, qarsey. See, so they all follow the same pattern. The melech, the sefer, the keres, na'ar also, although that's a weird segholate. Hey, shalom Meredith. Meredith says, I don't want to discourage you when I drop off, but I have to take care of... No worries. So glad you were here. Thank you for being here with us live, Meredith. That's a great duty you have anyway, to take care of the kids at the food pantry. That's wonderful. May Hashem bless the work there. Okay. Right. You could leave your phone logged in. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right. So clasps or hooks of... Right? Karasim became qarsey, that means of. Clasps of. Nechoshet is copper. I know. The problem with nechoshet can mean copper, or it can mean bronze. And I personally find this extremely irritating, that it's one word that means both things. So I usually, when in doubt, if it's in the Torah, I will say copper. Right? I'll say copper. And you will find in translations either ways. The reason that this one word is used for those two things is from the root nachash, which means to shine, to be shiny, right? And brass and copper are both very, very shiny. Although, why isn't silver? Silver's got another reason for it, like having to do with value and stuff. So, nechoshet can be shiny. I might as well point out, we're okay here. Kenneth asks, hey, shalom, Aaron. Aaron. Great to have you here. Kenneth says, brief syllable with segula. Oh, not the segula. Yeah, but it's interesting. That's a nice way to remember it. Like Am Segula, like a treasured nation, right? So Segol. Yeah, it's the three dots that look at that. They look like at the end of a triangle on each one. Yeah. Oh, we hit 42 concurrent viewers. It shows on my screen. I have to share with you guys. I prayed before teaching tonight. I asked Hashem if we could have 42 viewers. Maybe I should have shared. But anyway, so we have to say now, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher shomea tefillah. Hallelujah. I probably shouldn't have shared that, but anyway. That's great. So thank you for those of you who invited people to come in. For a moment, we hit 42. That's so cool. 42 is important for sci-fi people because that's the answer to life, the universe, and everything, of course. All right. Nachash is also very interesting. This is pointed out by the late Dr. Heiser, Michael Heiser. May he rest in peace. He points out in his book Supernatural that the Nachash in Breshit, in Genesis, that there might have been a triple entendre, like a triple wordplay happening there, because Nachash can mean a serpent, or it can mean a shiny being, right? Like he's luminous, like a luminescent being. Which would actually make a lot of sense why Eve would have wanted to be like him, right? Because he's so beautiful, right? Luminescent and such. But Nachash can also be one who practices nichesh or menichesh, which is to soothsay. It can also mean to tell falsehoods, right? To deceive. But to soothsay is kind of like in the same league. So you've got this kind of possible triple wordplay. He's the serpent, but he's also the shiny one. And he's also a soothsayer. Possible triple wordplay, right? Doesn't always work that way. Shalom Manju! Glad you made it, Achi. All right. And shalom to all of our brothers over there in India, standing with Israel. Julie says, sorry for the breakup of my question. I hit the return. Oh, I didn't see your question. Oh, there it is. Mentat, doesn't 40 also refer to... Okay, Ted's saying the 40 days in the wilderness and 50 people use... Oh, Gary says in ASCII 42 is the asterisk, which is the wild card for everything. Ooh, I like it. That's a great, great thing that you knew that. You knew the ASCII value of asterisk. Wonderful. Now tell me the Ipsidic value. No, I'm just kidding. Ted says Yeshua's temptation. Yeah, all right, 40 days. 40 days, that's right, in the wilderness. Okay. So the qarsey nechoshet chamishim, clasps or hooks of copper or bronze. It's kind of hard to argue which one. Chamishim, 50. Veheveta, and you shall bring. So the verb is ba, like Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Ba is to come. The hey at the beginning is telling us this is a hifil form of the verb, which means a causative form of that root, right? So if I took the word shavar, to break, and I said hishbir, I put the hey in the front, that makes to cause to break, right? Okay. So you could also do this with like katal is killed, you say hiktil, to murder, right? So it works, it's usually causative. Sometimes it's an elative meaning. So heveta is you caused to come, caused to arrive, so you brought. And the vav changes the aspect. Veheveta, so you shall bring, et, we don't translate, hakerasihim balulaot, the clasps, the hooks, be, in, the lylaot, loops. So the clasps or the hooks are going to go into the lylaots, the loops. Vechibarta et haohel v'chaya echad. Vechibarta. Chibarta is you joined. Right? Remember, chaver is a friend. It's like you cause to be friends. And we had these other architectural terms, if you guys remember, like ish el, or ish el achiv, or isha el achoto, pardon, achota, like a woman unto her neighbor, female neighbor, or to her sister rather. And now we have, you shall make friends, make them be friends. Vechibata, and you shall join et haohel, the tent, vehaya, and it will be echad, or it will become echad, united. And there we are, perfect. 45 minutes, 29 seconds. We finished our verses 7 through 11, and we had the Psalm 20 at the beginning. If you missed it, check out the Psalm, and maybe pray it aloud for our troops over in the land, and in Gaza, in Aza, as it's called in Hebrew. Yep, Jeannie, now 41. Hey, it shows me current 42 right now for some reason. Came back up. I don't know why. Maybe it's counting me or something. It's like I'm viewing myself. Kind of a metaphysical experience. Yeah, like to mate. Yeah, that's a nice example, Gary. Yeah, if a chaver is a friend or a mate, then chiber is to mate. To mate, I like that. That's good. Very good. And so here we have, if you'd like to join our Patreon, there it is. You can join for free in case something ever happens over here on YouTube. And you can also sign up if you like to do monthly donations. And if you like, you can also send us on PayPal. Much appreciated. We always have needs here. I'm typing the address. I should have had one of my admins do it because I'm not a great multitasker. But there it is. So you can send there. If you do, please select friends and family. It makes the fees lower all around. So, okay. Any questions before I let you guys go tonight? Nice turnout. Thank you so much for everybody being here live. I really appreciate it. That's exciting for me. Brenda says, Rav, and answered prayers like a kiss from Abba. I like that. Very nice. Oh, I missed Mentat Assassin says the word 40 appears 158 times in King Jimmy. The number 40 generally symbolizes a period of testing, trial, or probation. Nice. Yalkar says it's always powerful when you read the Torah in Ivrit. I agree. All right. Shalom, shalom, Betty, Vicky, everybody. Yep. Feel free to watch as many times as you like. And remember to click like, huh, guys? Wow, 40 likes tonight. That's great. I'm very encouraged. Thank you so much. And we will have a Hebrew word of the day out in a few more hours. Okay? Very welcome, Kenneth.